Today is May 4th, and this is COVID-19 Local Impact Ottawa Valley. I'm Trevor Riley. Here's a look at the COVID-19 situation at the latest update. We had no new confirmed cases, which sits at 16, 1 death, and 12 resolved cases. Total tests done sit at 1,829, and negative tests now sit at 1,695. We are currently awaiting the results of 118 tests here in the county. Now moving on to the province of Ontario, the number of cases went up by 370, bringing the total to 17,923. 1,300 deaths have been reported, and total tests have now increased by over 14,000, now reaching over 342,000 tests. Those are the current numbers for the 10:30 a.m. update on May 4th. Now I'm going to be speaking today with John Pohl of MYFM, and he's going to tell us about the Helping at Home fundraiser to help the people and families of the Renfrew area. But first, I find out a little bit more about how MYFM was well geared towards a COVID-19 world well before social distancing ever took hold.
When this started, we immediately went into our protocols of what we do in this sort of situation, which literally were like 2 lines on a piece of paper because it wasn't something we ever thought we'd need to do. We're pretty lucky as a company because we started our company in 2004. So basically since 2004, everything we've done is to make our broadcasting facilities as robust as possible so that we basically operate in the cloud. So before COVID-19, we could have everyone work from home. So when it hit, making that transition for us was easy because we already had those systems in place. It was just the change of people that were used to working in a building now having to transition and use those protocols we had in place from working from home. So that was a change, and it was difficult for some. Others have excelled, as you would imagine. From a strategic standpoint, obviously we have radio stations while we're based in the Ottawa Valley and our head office is in Renfrew. We have 21 markets across the province. So we quickly realigned everybody into different groups. We changed some of our news people, not necessarily for any other reason that some people needed to be in studios, some people didn't. So we sort of put together the roster of where everyone needed to be, what abilities they had, and then basically put together our execution plan. So probably 95% of our staff are working from home. We still have people in buildings every day. And I think they're pretty lonely because they go in and there's nobody there. And usually a radio station is a very vibrant place. But our team's done a great job. I'm extremely proud of the work that we're doing. We're providing more news coverage than we've ever provided before. And we already set the bar pretty high. In radio terms, in Ontario, we have the second largest radio news team outside of Rogers. And Rogers has a bigger radio news team than us because they have 2 all-news radio stations. If they didn't have those stations, we'd probably have the biggest. So I'm super proud of the work that we're doing. And we've increased our coverage, the stuff we're doing online, the amount of stuff we do on air. We have regionalized a few things in off hours just to make it easier to manage. But overall, the execution's been excellent. The staff has really stepped up to the challenge. And as a company, we've always strived, even through the last economic downturn, we've really done our best to not lay people off. That's always been one of my personal philosophies, that I believe a company is judged by how they treat their people in tough times, not in good times, because it's easy to celebrate in good times. It's tougher to stand by people in tough times. And, so far we haven't laid anyone off due to lack of work. We haven't done any massive layoffs. We had a few staff that were, they asked us because of situations that they had, taking care of parents, or we had a couple people that on the exciting side, they're having kids, so they're pregnant, so they wanted to be off. So in those situations, we did do layoffs because it was better for them, but we haven't done any basically for the business. And at this point, I don't see that happening because our team has really stepped up to the challenge and they've done a really great job. That said, we are in a great position, and I certainly understand a lot of businesses that have had to make a different choice. And that's just the choice we've made. And so far it's worked out well for us. And I'm a guy that I'm always looking at the positive. I'm always looking at the opportunity. I'm fully aware that there's some really crappy stuff going on. And I just believe if you go out and you do a good job and you help your community and you help your listeners and you help your advertisers and you do a really good job, the good stuff will come back to you at some point. So we've had a lot of high highs in our company, and if this is a lower high or a lower low, our team's done a great job every month leading up to this, so we can stand by them now. So that's our plan, and so far it's worked out. I hope our plans don't have to change. So it's really just chaos, but it's fairly organized chaos.
Yeah. Welcome back. Here is the continuation of my interview with John Pohl from MYFM. I wanted to make sure that people knew how do they get in touch? How do they donate? They're probably watching this right now, wanting to give a couple bucks. Where can they go? What can they do to donate?
Everything is at renfrewtoday.ca. So you just go there on our website. There's a big button that says Helping at Home. You hit that button, and right on that page, there's how you donate and there's how you can help out. And the donating's simple. It's online. You hit it. You do all the whiz-bang stuff. It comes out of your account. You get a tax receipt, so that's all great. And if you are old school and you just use checks, all the information is there where you can send a check. That's fine as well. I think one of the important things to mention is I know there's a lot of people that, especially in the Valley, that might not want to put their hand up, which I understand. But on that form, you could fill it out for someone else if you'd like. We're being really, really flexible on this. Like, if you have a neighbor that has a problem and that they won't ask for help, you can do it on their behalf, because we can drop something in their mailbox. This isn't about people getting publicity. It's not about parades. It's just about helping out. So anybody who submits for help, everything's private. Everything is confidential. It will never be mentioned. It's just about helping out. We started, the matching is taking place between now and next Wednesday.
Okay.
So every dollar you donate up to $5,000, the Rotary Club will match. We did it in a short window for a couple of reasons. Number one, we wanted to get a sense of how many people need help. We didn't want to make it like a month and then we find out, it's only 20 people. Or maybe in that week we find out it's a lot more, so we need to extend it. We also didn't want to be asking people for money for an extended period of time. So we're going to go till next Wednesday. We're going to be actively recruiting, asking people to help out. And at that point, we'll then make a decision. Because by next Wednesday, it's possible the Premier said, hey, some businesses are going to be opening up and people are going to be going back to work. So the scope of the need maybe changes a little bit. I do want to point out, Trevor, there's really three ways you can help. Number one is donate money. That's important. Number two is let us know someone who needs help. And number three is exactly what you're doing, and we certainly appreciate it, which is just let everyone know. Because we just want to find one more person who will donate, or one more person that needs help. So if you share it on your social media, if you take this video and you share it on your own YouTube channel, or you send it to everyone in your email list, or you pick up the phone and call all your buddies, whatever you do to help, even if you can't do money or if you don't know anyone who needs help, the one thing everyone can do is make sure everybody in Renfrew and the surrounding area knows that we're doing this, so that either if they want to help, they can, or if they want to help someone else, they can. And it's funny because over the years of doing fundraisers, the only time I've ever encountered someone that was mad about a fundraiser in Renfrew is they're mad they weren't asked to help. Like, they go, you guys are doing that? You didn't ask me? Like, that's the only time I've ever seen anyone get angry about a fundraiser in Renfrew, is when they weren't asked to be part of it. So that gives me a really really optimistic view that we're going to be able to not only raise a bunch of money, but also help a bunch of people.
Awesome. Thank you for joining me today. I hope everybody goes and does exactly like you said, help in any one of those three ways. Raising this money is going to go a long way to getting someone out of a pinch, because that's what it is right now. It's just that one little thing.
Everybody's pinch is a little bit different. And look, there are a lot of us that are lucky and blessed. We're still working. Our businesses are still going. And it's been inspiring to see a lot of those people that have stepped up and already made donations, which is great. There are a lot of people that are in the middle that are kind of like, it's not great, but it's not terrible. And then there's a bunch of people that they're like, I don't know. So if we can make those groups smaller, like make the I don't know smaller, that's all we're trying to do. And I know this, I've told my staff that things like pandemics are going to build character in people. They're going to be things you remember the rest of your life. They're going to build your career because of the work that you do, because it's going to seem, when things are good, your job's going to seem a lot easier than it does right now. And it's going to be easier because you're better at your job because of what's happening right now. It's going to make you a better parent because you're spending more time with your kids. Like, while this is negative and there's a lot of negative to it, I never want to forget all the positives that exist from it. And here's what I know. Everyone who we help, it's an investment, because they will be the people helping next time. Yeah. So it's worth it. It's an investment.
Yeah.
Sure.
Everything comes full circle, even in the worst of times.
100%.
All right. Thanks, John.
All right. Thanks, Trevor. Appreciate it.